welcome back to the Claremont Classic Garage. We've got the dually cranked up. The dually is going to go on its first official mission as a Claremont Classic Garage truck. We're heading down to a different boneyard today to check out their oldies section. See you when we get there. And their trucks too. Well, we're in the truck section, and the first third gen we found, look at this. That's beautiful. Let me check the one on the other side. What was it? It's got a leather steering wheel. Must have been a Laramie, I would guess. Let's see. Yeah, this one's nice too. Okay, we'll be coming back for this stuff. I don't have time to. They close early. Well, not early, but it's getting near closing time. So I just came down here to do some fact finding. Let's see what else we got. This one was a Laramie 05. I think it's got the. You can see it's got the nice back seats like ours. I love this color. It's Atlantic blue, they called it. This is a later one too. SXT cloth interior. Yeah, not much on this one. Oh, they somehow managed to jam a 4th gen bumper on it. That's why everybody says it doesn't fit, because it doesn't fit. There's a 4th gen with a 4th gen bumper. There's a 3rd gen with a 4th gen bumper. It just ain't right. Cool Chevy conversion van. It is old too. Look, it's got round headlights. That's from the 70s, man. Well, pretty much gutted out inside. What does it say? Oh yeah, 78. There you go. Back doors aren't open. Look at this caddy. 1966 it says on the fender. Big, huge Cadillac engine. 472 probably. Look at the chrome on the dash. Wow. Not a crack in the pad. Unreal. Here's a classic Hyundai Pony, 1986. This is Hyundai's first car in the North American market. They sold millions of these things. They competed against Lada. And what were some of the other really cheap cars back then? Skoda. They were all right if you were a tinkerer. But they had a carburetor and they had points. So you had to, you know, it was like looking after a 66 Biscayne. And people by this point were used to electronic ignition and cars you never had to touch. And they got a bad reputation as always being broken down when you needed them the most. There's a few oldies over here. A freaking Z28, a Pulsar, another Z. I don't know what that is back there. A Caddy, a Fiero. Oh, a T-Bird Super Coupe. Pretty cool. Well, here we are. Let's take a tour of the oldies section. That, I think, is a Saab. I think they're both Saabs. Are they? RO80. No, I have no idea what in the world these things are. No idea what in the world these are. Another Pulsar. Doesn't look like I'm going to find anything with a 9-inch rear end in it back here, does it? Granada. Wonder what the Granada's got for a rear end. Huh, whatever it's got, it's still in it. It is a WER, otherwise known as an 8.8. Little Fiat Spider. Like a Chevette, a 2-door Chevette even. Caddy. This is some kind of funny little English car. Looks like she'd been burnt. 55 Pontiac. I think I've showed you some of these ones back here before. But we'll have a look through anyway, just in case. Some pretty cool stuff back here. Look at Jag. Cutlass. That's a Saab. More Chevettes. A Jeep. A Yeep. Caddy. Dodge van, a Chevy van. Not much left of that. Was oh yeah. I know what happened to that. If you want to know what happened to that S10, go watch my friend Nick at The Real Guy Garage. Watch his channel and you'll see what happened to that S10. I remember now. Oh, here's a big Mercury. This could have a 9-inch in it. Or it probably had a 9-inch in it. Long gone, I bet. Oh yeah, lights are on, but no one's home. Wonder if we can open the door and see what it was. If they were still doing that with the door tag on these. This is kind of a late 70s one. Nah, nothing there. Trans axle 6. Letter is better. I believe that would still be the case on these newer cars. So it would have been a one-wheel peel, probably a 245 or 275, something like that. Cougar convertible. That could have had a 9-inch in it. Quite sure, long gone. Yeah, well, the springs are still there. A Mercedes. Old Chryslers. Dodge Caravan. Couple of GM cars back there. Well, that's it for the oldies section. Well, that's anyway an absolute bonus that we found that those moldings for the truck. We'll definitely come back and get those. Yeah, they got everything out of this old thing, didn't they? You can probably use these spindles on the old Galaxies and stuff, I bet. Here's a cool Jeep, plowing it. Look at the freaking mount. Holy moly. See how low they had to mount the plow because this thing's got a pretty good lift in it. Oh. Yeah, somebody probably plowed a lot of snow with this thing. There's another one. All right, got him. With what I had just in my little ratchet set here, that was all we needed. I got him. Lucky this thing wasn't too rotten and everything came apart relatively easy. So I got everything on the floor here. I'm just going to grab it all up and we can get the heck out of here. There we go. So you can see the difference. See all the blisters in ours? These ones are really nice. And now that I know how easy it is to put them on, we're all set. Well, we made it to the boneyard and back. That was the first official, monkey business trip for the dually. It wasn't just out driving around for test drives. So we're gonna do the old key dance, the old Chrysler key dance, and make sure there's no codes because we had one for a sticky wastegate, and I kind of wonder if that popped up because the thing has been sitting around for so long. It may actually have been sticky. So I cleared it. And when I was out today, I kind of wound it out and lumped on it a couple of times. So we'll see if that code came back. 1, 2, 3. 633, that's always been there. Done. All right. So that's awesome. So the wastegate code didn't come back. None of the viscous fan codes have come back. That 633... all that means is that there's been some miscommunication with the Sentry key and the little module that picks it up. And a couple of times this thing was sitting in the garage with the key in it and the battery went dead. So because it's been sitting in there for a long time. So anyway, hopefully when it goes up to the dealership to get the airbag module, when I get the airbag inflator change, I'm going to get them to clear that code because it's one of those enhanced codes or whatever. It's kind of like a layer deeper into the computer that my crappy code reader can erase. I can't erase that code. So I guess because it's security. So we'll get that cleared and hopefully it won't come back and then we'll have a clean bill of health. So here's the little 28 spline 325 we got today beside the 9 3/8 31 spline monster here, And it's hard to tell on the camera. It doesn't do it justice, but that thing is a beast. It's massive compared to this little guy. Anyway, but this will be that's a nice center, you know. 325, 28 spline. It's too bad it's not a track lock, but that's okay. Well, we're back in here again. The old 67 Ford is still here. I'm probably visiting it for the last time. I don't really think there's anything else that I can use off of it. There's just the 68 like ours. There's so much 1 year only stuff. Like a lot of the mechanical stuff underneath, yes, it crosses over, but that anything sheet metal, like there are some similarities, like this 67 and 68. The doors are the same. I'm not sure about the back door because the 68, this line goes up over the wheel, and I don't know where it starts, but that is kind of similar. I know on a two-door, 67 and 68 use the same doors, but pretty much everything else is different. And the same, you know, the same greenhouse from 65 through 68. But I've gotten pretty much everything I can get off of this thing. So I hope other people get stuff off it before it meets its doom, but I guess I'm done with it. We'll see if there's anything left of the old Lincoln when we get over there. I'll always look on the ground in these places. Sometimes you find tools. You never know actually what you're going to find. Here we just found a whole mitt full of pennies. You know, they're not really used anymore, but if you roll them up, the bank will still take them and give you real money. Alrighty, here we are at the old Lincoln. The rad looks good. It's a nice 3-core rad. Unfortunately, you can see the fan clutch is wiped out, and down in there it's done a number on the core. The shroud has been all repaired. It's not really worth taking. So anyway, I might grab this coil, the breather with the elbow in it. I left the 9-inch housing sitting on top of these tires here. I hope somebody took it. I don't blame them for taking it. I could have taken it when I was here, but I hope whoever took it looked it over carefully, because at one point when I was trying to figure out how to get this thing out of the car, well, I tried cutting it in half, and I realized I was going to run out of batteries long before I accomplished that, so I stopped. But one side of it's cut half through. Hopefully they saw that, and all they wanted it for was for the big bearing. The Torino, it's got Torino style ends on it. Hopefully that's all they wanted off of it, but you know, you figure they would have just sawed them off here. Don't ask me. What I'm after right now is that bump stop for the rear axle. I want to, even if I don't take it, I want to just get a picture of it, because that's an important part. And if it's missing, it could cause a lot of damage. Oh, and I see a dual exhaust hanger in there too I want to grab. I managed to get the front wheels off of this thing. And yes, indeed, it's the exact same brakes as my 68 Galaxy. The brakes on this are wasted. There's nothing left of the rotors. But it does have one thing I'm going to grab, and that's the flex hoses. You can see here they're not all rusty. They've been replaced recently, and they are really, really difficult to find. You literally have to have them custom made. I found a guy that does custom stuff in the US, and he made me a set for my my convertible, so I'm going to grab these. So I'm just doing an itty-bitty experiment here to see if I can get this stuff apart. I would really like to get these hubs. I haven't got the tools with me to get the complete spindles, but I can at least get the hubs, and it's good to have a couple of spare hubs around due to the oddball nature of them. So first thing, I've gotten the guide pins out for the caliper. Now we got to work at getting the caliper off, because it's stuck on there pretty good. There'll be prying, banging, smashing, but we'll get it. Now, just like any other car, we get the cotter pin, take the adjuster nut off, and we can pull pull the whole rotor and hub off. Now we need to use this, it's a caliper pin that I found as a punch, and we have to drive all 5 of the studs out. And then once all the studs are out, you just hold it by the hub and whack the rotor, and it comes right off. And that's what you end up with. All we're keeping is the hub, because this, look at that rotor, holy moly, that's getting very close to being one of them ones on Just Drove In. And we grabbed the dust shield too while we were here. I wish I had I'm this far into it now. If I had the right big wrenches, I would grab the spindles, but well, I just don't have them. Oh, that's it, we're out of there. I'll show you everything I got when I got home. There's one thing I got that I ended up, well, not bringing out. There's a 4th gen Ram in there that had the Airlift 1000, I think they call them, the red helper spring airbags in it, and somebody had taken the rear end, the springs were just there lying on the ground. So I pulled the airbags out. Oh, well, I get up to the office here, they're wanting, their supercomputer says that an air spring, it's not really an air spring, it's a helper spring. But anyway, they're telling me that they're $43 each. You can buy the whole freaking kit brand new for $100 on Amazon. These people are freaking insane. But that's what happens sometimes. It's good and it's bad having like this menu where it's one price for everything. And yeah, when they say air spring, they're thinking of like on a 4th gen Ram with air suspension, that complete whole freaking thing that's in there. I guess, yeah, they're probably $1,000 each at the dealer. Somebody would be happy to pay $40 for it. But for an in-the-spring airbag, that's a little much. So I told them, no thanks, you can keep them. And I left them there. Now, they don't get to sell them at all. It's freaking stupid. And they're freaking cement-headed. They just go, buy the book, and that's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There should be somebody in there that's like a licensed mechanic or something that has a friggin' clue that can look at this stuff and go, oh yeah, that's just a crappy piece of plastic. They're $10 each. Anyway, whatever. I kept my money. They kept their junk. Whatever. It's a free world. Anyway, see you at home. Well, it's a pretty good load of stuff. We got the hubs. I got the calipers from it. Just to have for spares. Like if I get a sticky caliper, I got to take the one off the car, fix it, put it back on. Now I've got this pair. I'll clean them up. I can overhaul them, wrap them up, and I've always got them. We got our dual exhaust hangers. This here is the brake combination valve for this style of brakes. Always get to have one of those kicking around. We got our nice flex hoses and the front dust shields. Like I said when I was there, I wasn't really prepared to get the spindles off of it. I may grab some bigger stuff and go back there and get the spindles off of it. But that's pretty much the last thing I would take off that car. There's not really much there for me. If they had it up on stands like the rest of the cars in there. I don't think I would want the engine, but it would be nice to be able to get in there with the A-frame, lift the engine up, and get the 429 frame mounts off the frame, or 460, it worked for either, and the exhaust manifold, so that anybody doing a 429, 460 in a 65 through 68 Galaxy could use those parts. But you know, that's getting a little carried away. Anyway, that was pretty good what we got. I can't complain. And that'll wrap up another couple of fun trips to the junkyard. It's just been crazy lately. I go in there once in a while to check out the 3rd gen Ram trucks because I'm always looking for bits and pieces for that dually. But I mean, in the last few weeks, they stuck that 67 LTD in there. And then I was pissed off because I missed the 69 Mark III Lincoln that they had in Peterborough. And then boom, one appears here. So it's all good. Hopefully they'll stick some more old cars in there, but hopefully not too soon. I'm getting tired of going up there. Anyway, I'm going to take off now. I'd like to thank you for coming and watching what we're up to on our channel here. Hope you'll come back and see us again. And until then, this is Kevin saying so long from the Claremont Classic Garage.